Hello and welcome to my craft room. My name is Catherine and I have all kind of fun here creating, inspiring, and empowering you to make your next creation. Whether you're a beginner, intermediate, or experienced, we can all learn from each other. And the best part about it is we're going to enjoy the journey along the way. No quilt police here. Everybody is learning something no matter how long you've been crafting. And let's face it, they are always coming out with new tools for us to use so we can really challenge ourselves or make our lives a lot easier with the different items that we want to create. So stay tuned and I'm going to show you what I'm currently working on. So without further ado, let's get started. Hi friends. Today we're going to go over a few projects that I've been working on in my craft room. Like many of you, I'm getting ready to get busier than what we normally are as we're getting ready for the holiday season. So I have devoted myself to creating gifts for everybody on my list this year instead of buying. Normally I would get them a gift card at their favorite place, then that way I know they get what they want. However, this year I thought, why not actually give them something that I custom make just for them? I mean, you can't buy that, right? I wanted to really challenge myself this year to actually do it because every year we have that intention of, yeah, I'll get to it. But not this year. This year, I'm getting prepared. I've worked on organization. I've added a new embroidery machine to my craft room, and I'll be showing you her here in just a little bit. Do you guys name your machines too? Just curious. In the comments below, could you let me know? And if you do name your machine, tell me what you have and what his or her name is. So, added the new machine. I adjusted my layout in my craft room, trying to get that perfect flow, no matter which project I'm working on, whether I'm quilting or I'm embroidering, or if I'm doing everything at once. So I'll have the iron going, and then it's in a strategic location. The Janome sewing machine, she's set up, and then the Janome embroidery machine is on the other side, which is right next to my brand new machine of a PE800 by Brother. If you have one of them, I'd love to hear your experience, and I can't wait to share with you my experience with her and what I found. So stay tuned, and we are going to do some highlights of each one of those projects, and I'll show you what I found by trial and error with my new PE800 Brother embroidery machine. Okay, we are at my station for the PE800 by Brother. This is the machine that I just added 2 weeks ago, and so far very pleased with the performance. I've had a couple issues on the machine, thought it was technical issues, turned out it was just a learning curve. If you've ever used one of these machines, I would love to hear what you love about the machine. The biggest thing is the display. I currently have a Janome 400E, and I got that one a few years ago when I first started thinking about getting into embroidery. I picked that one because I had a Janome sewing machine and loved it. I went through a couple other brands and finally stepped up to the Janome, loved it, and thought, why not? After doing more and more research, found out that Brother is the go-to machine out there for starting out, at least for the home series. And this is the top of the line for the home series currently as of the recording of this video. So the biggest thing I have found thus far is the display. It's very nice. It's very clear. You can see how it looks like a video. And as you're working through it, it's very easy to see the screen. You can do different editing within the display itself, and still learning a lot of the features. But the thing I wanted to share with you today was what I found. When I first got the machine, it came with a couple needles, and right off the bat I broke 2 of them, switched to a different needle, and haven't had a problem since then with the needle situation. After about 10 or 12 mug rugs, I started having issues with the bobbin where the tail wasn't long enough for the needle to come in here and pick it up. And I did a lot of research. The machine is so new, there's not a lot of troubleshooting out there yet. I went to my local quilt store, sewing machine store. They were able to help me troubleshoot a few things because they had not had any return with any issues, and come to find out it was error user. I'll admit it. It was me. I did it. After listening to many people out there saying, oh, you can just get pre-round bobbins. Oh, I was like, oh, that's great. It came with a spool of this 90 weight brother thread for the bobbin. And it took me a little while to realize the first 3 bobbins I ran through the machine, I used from this spool. Well, I then went to one of these. So I thought, well, I'm going through them pretty quick. Let's go get pre-wound and get a big box of them, right? Save me time and all the things, and I can just rewind them later when I have a moment to sit down and do that and I'm not in the middle of a project. I didn't realize it was the bobbins that was causing that short tail issue. So when I went to my local quilt shop, they suggested these. They're pre-wound, and when I came back, it showed me one other thing to do on the machine, and I couldn't find that setting. And I think it was on a previous model, but it's not on this one, because this model is like, it's automated. So there's so many things you don't have to worry about. It just takes care of it for you, right? I put these in, and I mean, it was to the point where it was doing it every other change. I mean, it started out just doing it maybe once or twice during a design, and then I'd have to manually run the bobbin thread up through here and attach it and pull it through, and it just kind of got ridiculous to the point where it's frustrating. But when I put the new bobbin in, it didn't do it at all. That entire design did not do it, didn't miss a beat, didn't matter how many times I changed the thread color, have any issues. It fixed the problem. So that's what I meant when I said user error. These probably work great in another machine, and I'll try them on the Janome and see if she likes this particular bobbin. The one thing that I've heard for years is machines like certain things, and I thought, okay, that's great, but I didn't realize how serious that comment was. And it really is. You really have to find out what your machine likes and what she don't like, because if she doesn't like it, she'll let you know by her performance. So nothing against this machine, it was user error. I don't let my machines just sit around. They're running throughout the day, all day. They work a good 6 hours a day at least. Most days when I'm in full production, I will have the brother and the Janome running, doing mug rugs or design sew outs for blankets. They get their work in for the day, and ever since I switched to that new bobbin, no problems whatsoever. Now, I did go to a heavier needle for the embroidery because I was doing mug rugs, and that's quite a few layers to go through. So that was probably on me as well. They probably just put in a basic embroidery needle, not thinking that you're going to be sewing through mug rugs. Overall, the machine is it's a workhorse. She does really well. She responds well. The graphics on the screen are they're just amazing. So if I wanted to, which I'm going to finish out these mug rugs for today, I'm doing the You Are Loved ones. So this kind of shows you what that looks like. The only difference between this one and a Janome, I had to learn how to back stitches up and whatnot. It is a little bit different from the Janome, and it goes in on this side. So it goes in like this. Whereas my Janome, it goes the other way. Other than that, great machine, love it, can't wait to use it some more, and I think she'll be able to take care of my needs until I'm ready for a multi-needle. And then I may need a bigger space. So with that being said, that is the tips I have for you on this machine. I'm sure as I get more familiar with it, I'll share some more tips. If you have tips and have this machine, I'd love to hear about them. So leave your comments below. And for the next project, we're going to look at what was going to be, or at least the model was a $1,700 organization kit that I found at the Container Store. Let's go check out and let me show you what I came up with. Okay, it's really hard to get a good shot of this space. So this is a closet space that was converted. I will have pictures of the Container Store option to this. The only thing that mine does not have is the pegboard where you could move shelves around, but I opted for the origami shelving units. There's 2 units in there. They have the drawers they pull out. They're different size and different depth bins, and then the curtain rod, which is holding the wrapping paper, the ribbon, and my thank you stickers for shipping. And then I had a shelf installed by our local handyman across the top, so that way I could have some storage space for books and videos and things like that. But as my husband says, no matter how much storage I get, I find a way very quickly to fill them up. So on any given day, that shelf is empty in there on top of the benches. That way I can literally go in there. He can't, it's too tall. But I can go in there and clear off that, and I can wrap up finished product to get ready to ship out. Like the blankets in the corner, they're all getting photographed and getting ready to be uploaded to my website. And then the dish towels are getting ready to be embroidered. So I kind of use it for a staging area until I'm ready to actually ship out orders. computers. So with this being a versatile workspace slash storage, it allows me more room to kind of put everything in a staging process. So they're not just laying all over my workspace that's out on the floor. The one from Container Store was about $1,700. And this one, those storage bins run about $200 when you can find them each. I had one already, I just ordered a second one. The wood was literally $10 for the board. Cost me $20 to have it installed. So in the rod too, and that was like $15 for the rod. Between that, I still am $500 maybe all in, and one of them I already had. It really, at the end of the day, didn't cost me that much. And let's face it, we never have enough storage, but now that I have products for embroidery machines and then sewing machines, I've got some that's embroidery material, some of it is quilting material. I really needed more help with organization and keeping stuff separate, because once you take it out of the packaging, it's hard to tell, at least for me. I'm sure once I've been doing this for a while, I can feel different materials to tell the difference between cutaway and tearaway and all the other things, but I'm still learning a lot of this stuff, so I don't want to use the wrong products on the wrong projects, so that way I try and keep everything separate. Like, one side is embroidery, the other side is all sewing, and that's kind of how I separate the two different bins. So if you have an organization tip, or you've redone an organization station in your sewing room, craft room, share your pictures below. I would love to see how you organize your space. Let's help each other get organized, because this is what it's going to take for us to get all our projects done in time for the holidays. The next tip and step I want to show you is how to organize your layout for workflow, and I will show you what I've done currently. And keep in mind, I've changed mine several times. It's never permanent, and it probably will never be permanent in yours either. As we keep adding on new projects and different things we want to use, and we bring in more equipment, it kind of makes you have to shift everything. The next will be how I currently, as of today, have mine laid out. If you want to share your workspace and what you find helpful, that will be great. So let's take a look at my sewing space as of today. Okay, here we go. So this is the opening to the room for my sewing space. As you can see, straight ahead is the Janome, and then on the left is the brother. Over to the right is the organization closet. Literally, y'all, it was a closet. I just took the bar out, put in the shelving units and bookshelf, and now I have an organization area. I haven't done the other closet yet. It's a work in progress. Trying to go real slow. I don't want to make anybody nauseous. I just added the spool racks. I finally found spool racks that will go on the wall, are sturdy. They're not the wood ones that fall apart. I'll have a link for these down below because I really did like these. That's my embroidery thread. See what I mean? You got embroidery machines, you got sewing machines, all these materials, they take different kind of materials, so you gotta keep them separate. So I have two L-shaped desks that are together. These are two different desks to give me that U shape. So you can see I've got the brother, my computer, and then the Janome sewing machine as I'm walking into the space. And then next to the Janome is the cutting station. And then I have all the tools that I need above the cutting station. Below, I use a organizing bin for scraps of material so I can separate them out by color. I have another organization bin which has my sewing thread and sewing needles and extra bobbins and stuff in there. And as you can see, I have put all of my rulers. This is the best way I've found thus far to do the rulers, is the 3M Post-it clips on the wall. I've tried dividers, organizers. The only thing I have found with those is they take up space, literally. Like, that's one more thing on your workstation that's taking up space. We never have enough. So great storage idea for the rulers. This way you can see what you've got. You can find them quickly. The biggest key to this organization tip, put them back where you found them. Don't leave them laying on your space. When you're done with them, put them away. And then that way it makes it look really nice. The ironing board's over here, out of the way. I used to fold it up and put it away. And then I just found that to be a hassle. I really don't use the big one unless I'm doing my finished quilt tops and getting them ready to go to the long armor. That's really the only time I kind of use it. But now that I'm doing more embroidery stuff that I have to put heat and bond on, I find myself using it more often, so it just stays there. Yes, that's my extra large post-it note. I am always trying to get the very most cuts out of a yard of fabric, so that way I can be as creative and resourceful as I can. The scraps are great, but however, they add up quickly. So if I can get more cuts out of a unit, then that's what I'm going to do. So that's my little trick. You can see I'm working on one now. But that is my craft room. So these tables do get shifted around. They've been in every position in this room possible, and they're not actual craft tables, so they do give me a little more versatility. The craft tables that I have found are very expensive, they're very heavy and hard to move around, but eventually hopefully I will find the one that works just perfect for me and what I'm doing, no matter what machine I need it to host. So if you have great ideas and tips, please list them below. I've seen some really creative tables out there, so show me your table and what you like about it, and maybe that'll be one I'll add to my room as I'm replacing this next year. After the holiday season, I'll be replacing some tables. I want to see what's available and what really works the best to be versatile. That concludes today's video. I'm so thankful that you're here. I'm so thankful that you chose to watch till the end. If you have tips and tricks for the rest of us, leave them in the comments below. Please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that notification bell so you'll know the next time I upload a new video. Remember, let's go get creative and enjoy the journey along the way. Until next time, bye-bye.